What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be talking about a film that was released this year that I have been really excited to watch for quite some time now. And I just hadn't had the ability to get around and watch it yet. But this is one where it's kind of a ridiculous concept. And I know when it was first going around, I think people were really surprised that a movie like this would even exist. And the film I'm going to be talking about today stars none other than Nicolas Cage. And the film is called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is directed by Tom Gormican. Creatively unfulfilled and facing financial ruin, Nick Cage must accept a $1 million offer to attend the birthday of a dangerous superfan. Things take a wildly unexpected turn when Cage is recruited by a CIA operative, forced to live up to his own legend, channeling his most iconic and beloved on-screen characters in order to save himself and his loved ones. So I feel like this is a movie that you're either going to really love or you're really not going to like. And I think a lot of it is dependent on your attachment to Nicolas Cage. I am someone who I have loved Nicolas Cage my whole life. I think that he's an incredibly misunderstood individual where, you know, he's done a lot of terrible films in his career, but what I will say is that every time he does a movie, he is 1000% committed to the craft, and he loves being an actor. His love of acting is referenced in this film several times, where he talks about just his passion for the craft. And, you know, someone, I think it's either his agent or someone around him, asks him at one point, like, want to take a break? Do you want to do this? And he's like, I don't take a break. Like, he's like, do you see people in other career fields taking a break? Like, this is my life. This is what I love to do. And so the film really centers around that core concept. The film opens with Nick Cage taking this meeting with this director, and you can tell he's kind of like doubling back on, like, directors like, hey, I'm not gonna make you read for the role, you're Nick Cage, like, why would I make you read for something? If I think you're right for the role, I'm gonna pick you for it. And he like sort of has like a breakdown for a minute where he just starts reading the director lines from the script, and he just kind of goes unhinged for a minute. And you can tell that things don't go really well. His agent is played by Neil Patrick Harris, who is like trying to get him these gigs, but you can tell he's at a period in his career that things aren't going well. Him and his wife are going through a separation at the moment, and he's living out of a hotel. He's racking up immense amounts of debt, and his relationship with his daughter is really strained to where he's pushing a lot of himself onto her without letting her own personality shine through. And so you get that kind of character dynamic created really early on of the separation between him and his family and then his own career. And then you have this amazing scene where he sees a manifestation of a younger version of himself, and they talk to one another, and it's really hilarious. So he's really hinging on this deal with this director going through. Well, Neil Patrick Harris brings to him that there's this super fan who's willing to pay him $1 million to come be at this birthday party. And at first he kind of puts it off, but then he realizes how much he needs the money, and he gets a call from that director, or from his agent, telling him he didn't get the gig on that movie. So he goes to the island and he meets Javi, played by Pedro Pascal, who gives a fantastic performance in this film, who is just a Nicolas Cage diehard fan. He gets there, and the two of them, at first, Nick Cage is really reluctant to do anything, and they have this really amazing scene on this cliff edge, and the two of them start to bond. Well, while that's going on, the CIA are investigating the family that Pedro Pascal is a part of. And the CIA agents are played by Tiffany Haddish and Ike Barinholtz. And so the film is Pedro Pascal's character introduces this idea for a script that he was writing, and him and Nicolas Cage start working on it together. And it's very self-referential. There's a lot of callbacks to Nicolas Cage movies. There's a lot of, you know, funny moments where he's doing these personas. But at the same time, the movie really at its core is a love letter to filmmaking. It's all about Nicolas Cage's passion for film and for understanding the medium and caring about this career that he's done for so long. And I think that honestly was one of my favorite parts of the film. Obviously, there's so much to laugh at because Nicolas Cage is just this really eccentric and wonderful human being who, whenever he's on screen, he just eats it up. The great part about this is just discussing film as a whole and what it means to Nick Cage, what it means to Pedro Pascal's character, and then even the connection of film between Nicolas Cage and his daughter, where he's pushing a lot of the film's on her that he loves, but she's not as interested in the things that he wants, but him not taking the time to try to understand what she likes. And sure, this film has its corny moments and it's over the top, and the screenplay isn't perfect. The stuff with the CIA, it's kind of thrown in there just to be a plot device to get you from one end of the film to the other. But the movie is so lighthearted and fun and engaging that if you're a fan of Nicolas Cage, it's hard not to be immersed in it. I've seen a lot of people give this movie a lot of shit, and I absolutely loved it. I just thought it was so much fun. I think it's a movie I could watch over and over again and just be completely enamored and enjoy it, because it's really a movie about that love letter to filmmaking, and it's so enjoyable. And like I said, I know it's not a perfect script, but it's really over the top and absurd, and that's exactly what I expected about a movie where Nick Cage plays himself. I didn't really expect an Oscar-nominated masterpiece. I expected a fun time, and that is exactly what I got, and I'm really glad that I finally got around to watching this film, because it was just a blast. And I think the chemistry between Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal's characters is so good. Their screen chemistry is palpable. They're so much fun to watch, and it was just a really amazing experience, and I'm really glad I finally got around to seeing it, and I would highly recommend checking this out. It is an absolute blast, especially if you're a fan of Nicolas Cage. So have you seen The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was a blast. It was so much fun. It made me laugh. It made me smile. It was just a great time, which is exactly what I wanted from it. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.